All right, good afternoon, cyber traders. Welcome on back here this Wednesday, August 30th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. For all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. Just let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Should be good to go for all of us inside our live trading room, though. Charles, Andrea, Grant, Sam, Mark, Michael joining us right now. The hot stock of the day, ICCT. It's a new IPO. It's not as if we always search for IPOs or any of that really, but whenever there's a stock that is coming off its IPO and in the more rare event, we'll say, where it ends up making a pretty strong pop out the gate. Well, the thing with IPOs is that there's no historical data to work off of. It's just, really whole number levels for this type of trade, and otherwise just the data that we see that builds across the afternoon and morning. So, it took a little while for this to break higher, but finally it did. It was chopping around between $7.50 and $9, just in this range. I really wasn't a fan of it going into the late morning, early afternoon. I couldn't have been less of a fan of it, if anything. Ended up just eventually breaking higher. So, you know what? Hey, with higher lows, you hope to see a nice breakout. And if there's a breakout, then you hope to see a nice big move. Well, thankfully, this ended up giving us a big move, and a lot of us ended up just taking advantage of this trade just a moment ago. So a couple quick shout outs here just for right now. I saw Xavier pick up over $1 on his trade. I saw Charles get 30, 40 cents on his position. Kevin on ICCT got nearly $1 himself. Kath, she got 35, 40 cents. Felix, he got a couple points on that trade, and it's still going. So for right now, yeah, ICCT, we're going to put on our watch list at least to begin this meeting, folks. Now, hey, we have class on ahead at 3:05 Eastern time, the phase 3 stock course with, well, not with Fausto, with myself, actually. I got the late hot tag by Fausto earlier this afternoon. He needs me to step in for him today. So I look forward to that. I look forward to joining you all in class this afternoon. I was cutting myself short, of course, on purpose, just kind of for fun there. So yeah, I'm going to be tagging in for Fausto, folks. Phase 3, we'll begin that at 3:05. But with that, let's go quick. So ICCT is on our watch list to begin. Markets were pulling back just up until right now. So might not find too many main name brand stocks on the gainer side or on the top of it at least. So NAOV ended up having a nice little pullback just now, a little sharp drop. So I'm going to pass on that trade for the afternoon. This was one of the stronger trades from the market open, though. I'd be pretty interested, though, really quick. Just bear with me for a moment. Yeah, 1.6 million share float. Tiny. Trading 85 million shares today. What do you think was going to happen? So that's pretty easy to call out there. But same will be said for a lot of these small cap, low cap stocks, low float. TO, we've seen this before. It's been a great trade to us before, but it's also dumped back down before. So we are pretty familiar with that. I'm going to put this on our watch list as a day trade. Looks strong here heading into the afternoon. Great volume on the order book. So definitely more of a level 1 stock at that. Now, what happened here? MSOX, what is this? Is this one of the cannabis ones, Rich? There was some news that came out during the day, right? It just led to a big pop across a bunch of the different marijuana stocks. Tilray, huge pop. Well, as much as we'd want to see continuation, it eventually dragged back down and broke below a support line at 267 for me. It pulled back to the next support at 260. But that's where I think that MSOX ETF, it's an ETF here, it's just up huge right now. I think there's this. I think there's another one, MSOS. Same deal. This definitely is a cannabis one that popped off the news. So we're not going to trade the ETFs as much between the two. This one's a little bit more liquid, I reckon. I'll put it down on the side list, I guess, for right now. But, I'd rather trade the stocks if there's anything looking good going on the way up right now. So, a lot of those pot stocks even dumped off right now at this point. So I'm not really too interested in them just yet. All right, we keep it going, though, here pretty quick. GTech, little pop earlier. Reto, RETO, ended up having a nice move, actually, before. Pushed up from 80 cents, 85 cents, up to 120. So pretty strong run. The stock took a huge hit, you could see as well, looking back on the daily chart just a week ago, it looks like, or a few days ago. I don't really recall that move. Led to an enormous drop. Well, it broke down lower and, getting a small recovery here. So, it's a lot closer to the highs than it is the lows. I'll come back to it also. I'll write this down for the side list, if anything. All right, GRWG is a pot stock that had a nice push earlier today. Popped up pretty nicely before. It's not really that close to the highs, But again, another one, if I need to, I'll check back in with it later. That's all. No great need to put this on our watch list just yet. Another ETF, MJ. There's Tilray trying to push back up right now. So, we'll come back to them if we need to. I say that often here, but you got to be picky and choosy at this time of the day. Really, stocks that are near the highs, near the lows, respectively, coming off of good or bad news. Lyft is not looking bad at all, right? Really strong push up right now on Lyft. I wouldn't mind slipping this on our main list for right now. It's up over 7%. Uber is not doing a whole lot right now, so no Uber, but we'll do Lyft. I feel like Lyft is always better anyway. You can always get quicker rides on Lyft. All right, VRM, going with Carvana. That's right. A little slow, though, this is right now. Carvana from before had a nice breakout trade. Myself, Chuck, maybe a couple others, if I'm not mistaken, took advantage of the run-up at first, but it eventually fell flat. So had a strong last couple of days even before today. I wasn't fully certain we'd get this type of breakout trade. Once it popped above 47.50, I knew I was looking pretty good, but it didn't come right away. And with it up as much as it was from this week, it doesn't shock me to see this drop off more now. All right, well-timed water break. Mark calling out a short on Box. We're going to hop over to the loser side in just a bit. So we'll take a look at Box if we need to, if it's on the loser side. Just a moment. Bingo, BNGO, familiar name. I guess that had a nice run up from before. I missed that. AMC, I know Rich was all over this one. Rich was calling this out inside our trading room. Pushed up pretty nicely. It's just got really like pop and drop to it all over it. I mean, just given how much it dropped off beforehand and the reverse stock split that happened, it kept dropping. You knew that this would have a recovery day, but it's the short squeeze. Like it already was a short squeeze dating back to a couple of years ago and last year, of course, but even more so now with another split factored in. So what goes up comes back down. What goes up drops twice as fast. Big trees fall hard. All of that good stuff, right? So it's dropping now at this point. Wouldn't shock me if it continues. All right, so a bunch I said I'd go back to, but for right now, we have 3 stocks on the main list: the ICCT, the TO, and Lyft. Actually, Lyft looking pretty good. So let's see if there's anything looking good on the loser side right now. OTLK down big. A bunch of these are cheapies, so I'm just trying to kind of skim over them, if anything. AMBA down big, but not really doing a whole lot right there either. There's Mark's Box short there. Yeah, it's not looking bad at all, Mark. On the way down at the lows, shortable, at least on TradeStation. Double check if you're on TAS or IB or Schwab or whatnot. So, yeah, looking pretty interesting here. Box, I like it. All right, what else we got here? Anything else looking good? We're already kind of like near or at 5% on the loser side. So the melt up that we had the last few days, I mean, we didn't find a whole lot that was name brand on the gainers list outside of Lyft, but otherwise not a whole lot really out there on the losers either. Not trying to make this meeting short, folks. Actually, I kind of am, but kind of not. I'm not trying to rush through things, but we do have class this afternoon, 3:05 Eastern time. Want to make sure all of our students, alongside myself, are prepped up, good to go. But I think I scanned through pretty much everything. Let me know if there's anything else looking good, folks. Up, down, left, right, more than 5%. There's a bunch we'd say we'd go back to. So RETO, trying to inch back up right now. Doesn't hurt us to slip it on the main list. It's got good volume on the book. Tilray is not nearly as close to the highs as I'd want to see it, so I'm going to pass on this. I'll probably pass on most of the other pot stocks for right now. Yeah, for right now, we'll pass. SOUN, I saw just up 6%, perking up a little bit, but it's just been stuck in this range. I know Michael's a fan of the AI stocks. They're at least going into the post-market this afternoon. Maybe that could pop overnight. AI is not doing a whole lot special right now. All right, so folks, up, down, left, right, let me know any last stocks that you'd want me to look at here. Put the RETO on the main list, and that was pretty much it. So now we got 5. Show Benzinga here just lastly before we finish up. Not a whole lot that I missed, right? NAOV maybe I go back to. BRSH maybe I go back to. No, I'll do it. Yeah, we're going to pass on that. and we're going to pass on this. All right, we're going to finish up, folks. Bill at the horn here saying PLTR. Doesn't hurt us to put it on the list, Bill. Not a bad call. I'm going to put PLTR on the watch list, but otherwise, though, that'll do it. All right. So, hey, hey, start and stick with this watch list here to begin. It definitely gives you a decent head start to follow a runner into the close. I mean, hey, I just scanned the whole market, folks. I know it's kind of an abridged meeting, but I went through pretty much everything. So, otherwise, hey, start and stick with what we got here. Stick with the lift, stick with the PLTR perhaps here, the RETO, ICCT, Tito's, and the box if you're trying to go short there. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing most of our students in class coming up. All of our gold, platinum, diamond, CTU students. You folks have access to the phase 3 course ahead. Normally with Fausto, I get the hot tag every now and then. So I look forward to trading with all of us here live heading into the market close. And we'll go from there. All right. I'll talk to you all soon.